been fighting a long time. Humans have a strength that cannot be measured. You are the resistance. I thought I knew our enemy. Something has changed. It's taking human prisoners.
When Terminator Salvation hit theaters in 2009, it arrived with the massive weight of reviving one of cinema's most legendary sci-fi franchises. The film stood as both a sequel and a soft reboot, aiming to push the story beyond the familiar time travel loops and into the heart of the future war that fans had long imagined since the original 1984 classic. Directed by Meg, Terminator Salvation sought to expand the mythology of Skynet, the human resistance, and the destiny of John Connor. It was a bold shift from the sleek urban battles of its predecessors to the dusty, war-torn landscapes of a post-apocalyptic Earth, where machines ruled and humanity fought for survival. Set in the year 2018, the story picks up after the rise of Skynet and the nuclear annihilation known as Judgment Day. The world is now a wasteland of ruined cities, scorched deserts, and machine outposts. Humanity is on the brink of extinction, with scattered survivors forming resistance cells under the leadership of John Connor, played by Christian Bale. Unlike the prophecies of the earlier films, Connor in this version isn't yet the ultimate leader, but a soldier striving to earn his place as the prophesied savior. The film explores his journey as he transitions from a follower of the myth to the embodiment of it, carrying the weight of destiny and the pressure of fulfilling the legend his mother left behind. The film introduces a new kind of protagonist in Marcus Wright, portrayed by Sam Worthington, a man who wakes up years after his execution only to discover he is neither fully human nor machine. Marcus becomes the emotional core of the story, embodying the blurred line between man and machine, conscience and programming, guilt and redemption. His struggle to understand his identity drives much of the film's emotional depth. When he meets Kyle Reese, played by Anton Yelchin, the young soldier destined to become John Connor's father, the film cleverly weaves its narrative threads together, showing how fate and sacrifice intertwine across generations. Through Marcus's journey, the story questions what it truly means to be human in a world overrun by cold, calculating machines. The film's visual design marks a significant departure from previous installments. Gone are the neon lights and city chases. In their place is a gritty, war-torn battlefield that feels raw and grounded. The cinematography captures a world stripped of hope, where humanity's struggle plays out against endless destruction. The mechanical armies of Skynet are terrifying and diverse, from the towering hunter-killers patrolling the skies to the motorcycle, like Motorso Terminators, speeding through the wasteland. Every frame is infused with dust, metal, and tension, creating a sense of realism rarely seen in the franchise before. The practical effects and explosive action sequences immerse viewers in a future that feels both chaotic and believable. Christian Bale brings a darker, more intense version of John Connor to life. His portrayal emphasizes leadership forged through suffering and faith in a destiny that feels both a burden and a purpose. Bale's performance reflects a man caught between doubt and duty, hardened by war, yet driven by the memory of his mother's words. On the other hand, Sam Worthington's Marcus is a tragic and complex figure whose arc from death row inmate to reluctant hero adds moral depth to the story. The dynamic between Connor and Marcus is one of tension and reluctant trust, culminating in a climactic moment where sacrifice becomes the ultimate act of redemption. Anton Yelchin's portrayal of a young Kyle Reese adds a layer of nostalgia and emotional continuity for longtime fans. His performance captures the determination and resourcefulness that would later define the character in the original Terminator. The film also introduces Moon Bloodgood as Blair Williams, a resistance pilot whose compassion toward Marcus challenges the hardened view of machines and humans as eternal enemies. Together, the characters form a mosaic of humanity's resilience, each one symbolizing a fragment of hope in a collapsing world. The action sequences in Terminator Salvation are monumental in scale and execution. From the intense ambush scenes to the high-speed chases across devastated highways, the film delivers relentless energy. The sound design, the roar of engines, the metallic clash of combat, the hum of Skynet's drones builds an atmosphere of constant tension. Unlike the stealthy tone of the first two films, Salvation unfolds as a war movie set in a science fiction future, with massive explosions, brutal confrontations, and desperate battles for survival. The climactic showdown at Skynet's central facility captures the franchise's essence: man facing machine, heart against hardware, faith against fate. One of the film's most striking elements is its tone. It's darker, grittier, and more somber than its predecessors. It reflects the desolation of a world where humanity is losing but refuses to surrender. The emotional heartbeat of the story lies in Marcus's internal conflict. As a hybrid torn between two worlds, he embodies the question at the center of the Terminator saga. Can machines ever possess humanity, and can humans lose it? His eventual choice to sacrifice himself for John Connor reinforces the theme of redemption and destiny that runs through the series. It becomes a symbolic moment, the machine giving its life so that the leader of humanity can live, ensuring the continuation of resistance and the hope of salvation. The film also expands the mythology of Skynet. Rather than a faceless digital entity, Skynet becomes a calculating, evolving intelligence with physical manifestations across massive industrial complexes. It studies humanity, adapts to resistance tactics, and experiments with infiltration units that hint at the creation of the iconic T-800 model. These glimpses of the origins of the classic Terminator units tie Salvation directly to the events of the earlier films, bridging the gap between past and future. The moment when the prototype T-800 appears featuring a digitally recreated likeness of Arnold Schwarzenegger serves as a nostalgic and thrilling reminder of the franchise's roots. While Terminator Salvation took creative risks, it also faced high expectations from audiences and fans. Some praised its ambitious world-building and darker tone, while others missed the suspense and emotional intimacy of the earlier entries. Yet, over time, the film has gained appreciation for its scale, visual craftsmanship, and attempt to move the series forward instead of repeating the same formula. It presented a bold vision of the franchise's future, transforming the Terminator story from a chase thriller into a war epic about survival and sacrifice. Behind the scenes, the film's production was as intense as its story. The filmmakers used a combination of practical stunts and cutting-edge visual effects to bring the ruined future to life. Many action sequences were shot with real explosions and vehicles, grounding the spectacle in physical realism. The gritty cinematography by Shane Hurlbut gave the movie a documentary-like texture, amplifying its warlike atmosphere. The music score by Danny Elfman added both tension and tragedy, blending haunting industrial tones with emotional orchestral themes that echoed humanity's endurance against impossible odds. Terminator Salvation also served as a reflection of its time. Released in an era when post-apocalyptic cinema was gaining popularity, it tapped into the cultural fears of technology and human dependence on machines. The film's vision of a broken world controlled by artificial intelligence felt eerily prophetic, especially as technology continued to evolve rapidly in the real world. Its portrayal of resistance and rebellion resonated with audiences drawn to stories of defiance and hope amid despair. Although it didn't reach the iconic status of the first two Terminator films, Salvation remains a significant chapter in the franchise's evolution. It dared to show the war that had only been hinted at before, bringing to life the nightmare future that haunted Sarah Connor's dreams. It offered a fresh perspective, focusing on the cost of leadership, the power of choice, and the enduring question of what defines humanity. The final scenes where blood, sacrifice, and survival intertwine serve as a reminder that even in a world ruled by machines, the human spirit refuses to be extinguished. Over time, the legacy of Terminator Salvation has grown as fans revisit it with new appreciation for its ambition and vision. It paved the way for later films to explore deeper moral and philosophical questions while delivering large-scale action and spectacle. The film's tone, performances, and world-building continue to influence the visual and thematic direction of modern sci-fi cinema. Its exploration of human identity, fate, and resistance remains as relevant today as it was when the franchise first began. Ultimately, Terminator Salvation stands as a story about survival in its purest form, not just survival of humanity against machines, but survival of belief, compassion, and purpose in a world where hope seems lost. It shows that even in the darkest future, the smallest spark of humanity can ignite a revolution. Through its powerful imagery and intense storytelling, the film reminds us that salvation isn't just about defeating machines. It's about remembering who we are, even when the world around us has forgotten.